The territory has 1,088 vehicles in all. More than 80% of them are powered with gas, 168 rely on diesel, and 8 are hybrids.
Which is some progress, because I remember a few years ago they had 2, but that still leaves over 1,000 that could be hybrids or plug-in hybrids or electric.
The N.W.T. government is considering an electric vehicle procurement policy. Robinson, who has a handful of electric bikes himself, has some ideas as to what that could look like.
Some places have policy where they require that the vehicle that is used is the most efficient that's available in that category, so that if they're buying pickup trucks, they should buy the most efficient hybrid pickup truck that they can get. Or if they only need a vehicle for moving people around, they should be looking at a plug-in hybrid or whatever is efficient in that category. And if that's a policy that's in place, they'll probably end up with a lot more than just 8 in their fleet in a few years.
A transportation analyst at a renewable energy think tank says there are things to consider before making the switch.
Vehicles that are traveling longer distances are going to be harder to electrify, whereas if you have a lot of fleet vehicles that are traveling relatively short distances, then maybe you don't need to have that kind of vast charging infrastructure network to electrify those.
McBain says dwell time is another consideration. Does a vehicle come back to the same place every night? If so, it might be easier to charge it up again.
A school bus, for example, that could run on electric all the time, especially in places like Hay River, Fort Smith, Yellowknife that have hydroelectricity. That would be a great way to reduce emissions and cost as well for operating those things.
Transportation accounted for 63% of the N.W.T's greenhouse gas emissions in 2021. Heavy-duty diesel vehicles generated more of those emissions than aviation did. It's unclear when the territory will have finished assessing an EV procurement policy. Infrastructure Minister Caroline Wozniak said in an email she's looking forward to reviewing its findings. She says it's an area where technology is advancing quickly and funding opportunities are becoming more readily available. The federal government says it's phasing out the production of gas-powered vehicles by 2035. Liny, Lamberink, CBC News, Yellowknife.